Now this is an interesting looking tank barrel. Look at this, guys. Do you know how much resources people put out to get themselves the dragon barrel? This guy's got 3 marks. It's X Profus from the Noon clan playing Assault. He is not assaulting. He is doing the opposite of assaulting. In his shiny gold-plated Quinlan, I guess it's called. Super fast too, for the beefy armor it has. WZ111 QL. It's one of those days where we're just going to. This is the perfect situation for someone to just have the game of his life, especially on assault when you're not assaulting. He's just assaulting of swing. He's gotten to the position where he can just... Oh, and you blew it, buddy. The smoke billowed out of your fancy schmancy turret. But he's going for it. Usually people just stay hull down right where he was and just wait for the enemies to come, because they have to come. But he is just going for it. So this is going to be interesting. He could just die here. If the enemies moved in force to this position... But I guess he feels he has a lot of backup, right? Look at the lineup. Look at his team. Look at the minimap there. I'll make it a little bit bigger. What is that? A sniping IS-3? Oh, he hit it. IS-3 was bad, you know. So he's cut the enemies off, is what he's done. Cut them off at the pass, because he's got a VK, a Cobra, something else or other. He's got a lot of teammates behind him. We'll just. Like, if they come around, come over the top there to try and shoot him, if they... So difficult for the assaulting team. Maybe what we need to do... This is going to be this guy's magic game from heaven, that, you know, the best he's ever had. But maybe what we need to do is search for the best assaulting team performance. How do you assault effectively? Because all the ones that I see, or that people post or send me, overwhelmingly the best results are when you're on the defending side, right? And it's obvious why, because it's just, it's a wargaming designed imbalance that the poor enemies have to push into all your guns, and there's just not a lot of the map. The maps are designed to be balanced, quote unquote, Russian balance, pretty much balanced when it's a regular game. Each team has a base, and most of the maps have various choke points or various ridge lines that typically both teams rush to, and the advantage points are typically in the middle. Except for mines, where one team gets the hill easily. But a lot of the maps, you rush to those positions, and then it's kind of a stalemate for the first... If each team takes its special positions, it's pretty balanced, is what I'm trying to say. There's objectives on this map. There's a line of rocks on one side and the other side where you can snipe from. There's 2 corridors on either side, and the 2 corridors fight. The maps play out a certain way, right? And they're designed that way. A lot of them. What's the one? I forgot the name. But there's so many of them that you start on either side and you move to the center ridgeline and fight it out. So they're kind of designed for a balanced one team versus the other fight. Then you take the same map, and you just stick the base in a corner. And you say, hey, you guys get the base. The other guys can just defend the base. That'll work. And of course, you look at the map, and it's not designed for that, right? It's not balanced around that base. The people that start on the attacking side, they can't rush to the middle and get objectives where they can be hulled down. And there's not a balanced... Once you press battle and you speed to the middle of the map, or you get to those initial positions, there's no balanced positions for both sides. It's ridiculous, right? One team is right on the base and has a whole bunch of cover around it, and the other team's just on the other side of the map. But they even did it diagonally. They didn't even do it like to put the base in the middle of where this gameplay is just a pub match. There's a south spawn and a north spawn, right? You know how this map works. There's two bases, right? Why not just do it one of the bases where it is normally, with one team spawning in the south, the other team spawning in the north has to take that base. So at least when you start, there's the same corridors that you can go fight. Right? Then it plays out the same. One team has to either go down the 8-9 line or the 1-2 line and spot in, you know, like the same sort of gameplay as a regular game, but one team has to take the base. No, that would be too balanced. Let's put the base in the corner where it's easiest to defend. It's just, like, I don't know. The dumbest Russian game mechanic I've ever. This is mind-bogglingly stupid, right? Like, who comes up with that? Think about it. Yeah, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. It would be like we're going to have a tennis match. Now, normally, you stay on this side of the net, and you stay on that side, and then you have to hit the ball over the net. And each time the ball comes over and lands in your court, you have to hit it back. Right? That seems okay. That's kind of balanced. And then there'd be some Russian guy going, we make change. One player stand in corner of court, has little box in corner. Other player has to hit ball in little box. And this player hit ball anywhere. But other player does not start there. He starts over here. He does not have to hit ball over net. He just has to hit ball in little corner. And they go, what? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. No, it work, yeah. How does it work? That might not have been the absolute perfect example, but it's about as, you know, like it's almost what this is, right? Have a tennis game, but you don't have to start on, just one guy starts over here. You don't have to hit ball over net. Just have to defend. You have to hit the ball as hard as you can and hit the opposing player. And he can hide behind the net. Just change the rules so that it's stupid. And I got launched into a rant, even though we're supposed to be featuring this guy's game. But every time I see one of these attack-defend modes, I'm just looking at the map and say, why the fuck isn't there a base here like there normally is and a base there? That would be a pub game, right? Why not just leave the base here? Look at the map. Leave the big green circle right here where it normally is and let the team spawn where they normally do and then say, go ahead. Try and take the base. Then you have to kind of the same strategies, but one team has to push. And the map's balanced, just like on hills or mines. Right? They have two bases, but when it's attack-defend mode, they put the base near up in the north, in the corner, so that the team that can get the hill easily has the base, too. They have to defend it. What does the team in the south do, then? They're fucked! Like, if the whole object of mines is to take the hill, right? The team that takes the hill usually will put the fucking base on the hill! Let the teams actually fight it out to get up there. No, it's not very simple. It's much more complicated than that. We have various engineers working on this. They have come up with very big statistical samples of blah, 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 and whatever the fuck we don't understand. So we fuck it up. And that's, and we call it computer programming. It's one of those videos, I know. It went downhill as soon as as soon as he rushed to the railroad track and now, well, why is the other team winning? You're saying, Claus, I thought you said it's in balance. Why does the other team even have a chance? Well, because the defending team He's dead! Well, why did he lose, guys, even though he did 11,300 damage? Because his team sucked. Okay, they all went to the flank he went, and they left the other flank completely open, and they got surrounded, right? It has nothing to do with the bad programming and the stupid mode. It has the fact that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 absolute simpletons, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in total that did less than 1,000 damage because because the player base is stupider than the programmers. So as we watch Metal Gear from the Fox clan in his Type 63, shout out to you guys, all the Foxes. The question for you today is, who's stupider? The game programmers that designed the attack defend modes to like a lot of the modes to be like ridiculous figments of stupidity imagination, or the player base that ends up on a defend side of an assault mode where there's an 85% chance of victory and is stupid enough to all go down one flank and leave half of their defense wide open in order to ensure defeat. That's usually the programmer's defense. Well, we've looked at statistics and they look fairly balanced to us. There's only 62% chance of victory for defending team, and we think that that's skewed by imbalances in tank mechanics. No, it's skewed by the absolute stupidity of the player base that even though they have an overwhelming advantage, are too stupid to realize it. I usually go to G6 on this map. Do you? You usually go to G6? Oh, I started in tier 2 and I played all the way up to tier 6 and I always go to G6. There's a rock there I like. And that's it. That's pretty much the state of the strategy of the average World of Tanks player. So of course any map will do. Does that mean we have to settle for mediocrity? I guess, that's like saying I went to the restaurant and the food sucked. And then your friend says, yeah, and the portions were really small. Now, I know a lot of you probably didn't get that, right? But think about it. If the food sucks, why the hell would you want to eat more? It's one of those videos. This is what happens when I've been fighting a cold. And here he comes. Here's Mr. World of Tanks. He's going to show us. This is it, right? This is the strategy. These are the pillars of World of Tanks. Mr. Super Strategy. And here comes his friend. I was a little under the weather for a couple of days, guys. And Hydra. Did he use the Hydra pneumatics? This is, we're finally seeing the Chinese thing doing with the gun and the... Hey, when we started, we had 2 circles on the barrel, the hot and the cold. Yeah, you barely see them, the 2 circles there. So when the gun is cold, I got it wrong when I did the review. When the gun is cold, it's the little circle. And when the gun is hot, like right after it shoots, it's in the big circle for a while. But it cools off faster than you reload, so it doesn't really fucking matter. Yes, we had mechanic. We put 2 circles there to confuse people. Look, he shoots and now it's big circle for a little while. But when he reloads, it goes back to little circle. We have more computing. We have more computing power. There's no power. No problem. There we go. See? Small circle again. We call it new mechanic. We make him play on assault mode. So I've been a little bit under the weather and I'm feeling better. Usually what happens is when if I have a cold or something and I'm under the weather, I'm subdued and recovering, right? And so I'm not able to spew out my natural charm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not naturally as charming as normal. So once I recover, more of my charm bubbles forth for you to enjoy. Okay, look at the wheeled vehicle. He's going. What was he doing? What was the wheeled vehicle doing in the valley? Spooting? Like, what's he doing? See, I'm in a wheeled vehicle. I see on the 2 line there's a line of 17 tanks shooting at each other stationary. I think I'll drive up there and see what's going on. I don't know where that shot went. Half the stuff I see now when I'm doing the commentary, I have no idea what's going on. There's big circles, there's little circles, there's point-blank shots, and all of a sudden they're just gone. Boop! What was he doing? Maybe if I back up the hill like this, do you think he'll... Like, what was that guy doing? With his ass up on the... Look at him! Look at this! If I stick my ass up and moon the sky, I should be okay. I think I'm getting too old for this. What was your... Oh yeah, the question for today, guys. See? My charm bubbled forth in this video. But the question for you today is, who's stupider? The programmers of the game or the player base? That's the question. Illustrated by the fact on how unbalanced the map was in the first game, and yet how the team was stupid enough to even lose with an overwhelming advantage. Well, that one went sideways today. But he did good. And I'm feeling better, so there you go. Klaus is back. I'll catch you on the next one.